Hello everyone! I hope you're ready for another adventure because today, Wayne reads Curious George. Always remember, if you want to follow along with more amazing stories, all you have to do is like and subscribe for more tales. Now I think that North Star will be perfect to join us for today's adventure. Now the North Star is here. Let's jump in because today we read Curious George visits a toy store. This is George. He is a good little monkey and always very curious. Today was the opening of the brand new toy store. George and the man with the yellow hat did not want to be late. When they arrived, the line to go inside wound all the way around the corner. When a line is this long, it's not easy for a little monkey to be patient. George sneaked through the crowd. All he wanted was a peek inside. George got to the door just as the owner opened it. "This is no place for a monkey," she said. But George was so excited, he was already inside. Balls, dolls, bicycles, and games filled the shelves. There were so many toys, George didn't even know how some of them worked. And how about these hoops? What did they do? George was so curious, he climbed up to pull one out of the pile. It would not move. George pulled harder. Still it wouldn't move. George pulled with all fours. Suddenly, there was a terrible crash. Red, blue, green, yellow hoops bounced up and down and everywhere. "Look," exclaimed the boy, bouncing up and down himself. "Why, I haven't seen one of these in years," said the boy's grandmother. She put the hoop around her waist and gave it a spin. George tried the hula hoop too. Then George pretended to be a wheel. He rolled and oops. He rolled right into the owner. The owner shook her head. "I knew you were trouble," she said. "Now you've made a mess of my new store." Again, she tried to stop George. And again, George was too quick. In only a second, he was around the corner and on the highest shelf. Below him, George saw a little girl point to a toy out of reach. "Mommy, can we get that dinosaur?" she asked. George picked up the dinosaur and lowered it to the little girl. She was delighted. So was the small boy that stood next to her. "Could you get the ball for me, please?" he asked George. George reached up and grabbed the ball and bounced it to the boy. "May I have that puppet way over there?" asked another girl. How lucky that George was a monkey. He swung off the shelf, hung onto a light, picked up the puppet, and put it right into her arms. "What a show!" shouted a boy. The children held up their new toys and cheered. What a commotion. Immediately the owner came running. And then came the man in the yellow hat. "I think we've had enough monkey business for one day," the owner frowned. Just then, a girl got in the long line to pay. "What a great store," she said. "What a great idea to have a little monkey helping you," her father told the owner. I guess you're right," the owner replied and smiled. Then she gave George a special surprise. "Thank you, George," she said. "My grand opening is such a success because of you. Perhaps monkey business is the best business of all." The end. Oh wow, that was a lot of fun being able to explore the toy store with George. What did you think, North Star? I like that part too. We'll see you in the next adventure, okay? And we'll see you in the next adventure, here with Wayne Reads. Thank you for joining us, and we can't wait to see you again. Bye-bye.